Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I just want to reach out to all of you out there, see how all of you are doing. I hope, like you are doing great, really. Not, I was just going to say well, but, like I really do. I hope you're doing great, and I hope you, were able to get out in nature somewhere, whether it's a hiking place, like out in the middle of nowhere like I like, or they do have a lot of trails on bike paths or, even parks. Starlight loves walking in parks. And in my area, they do have a lot of tulip festivals, like where you can go and look at some flowers like I did recently. And, so there's different places, to get out in nature. You don't want to really walk around in the city, where if you could find some woods somewhere, to get out with Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, um, that is very healing. And when I get out there, I have a hard time coming back home. I'm like, I feel like a kid, it's like, that I have to go home now. I was already having fun. So I do. I really enjoy being out in nature. And so with that is that like today I did get outside, but I was only in my son's backyard. But I was out, I had to do some things, had to visit my son and my grandson and my daughter-in-law, to get some help. Where yeah. So anyway, I love all of you, and so if you're new to my YouTube channel, thank you for checking this video out. And if you want to find my YouTube channel, there are a lot of starlights out there on YouTube. I didn't realize that until I try to find myself. I try to find Starlight on YouTube, and it's like, where did she go? Yeah, I did too. One time, I had to go get my phone fixed, and then I had to get it reset because I couldn't upload any videos or pictures. And when they reset it, I got kind of scared. I didn't have my information with me, and I was kind of new with YouTube on how to find my own channel, like on my internet. It's all set, where here I was using my phone, and I was like, this, like something wasn't quite right. And I realized that, yeah, I couldn't find my own channel, and I was like, huh. So the guy was really good at helping me out, and I realized it's, like to find my channel, it's Starlight, Kathy with a K, Dingman. That's how you're gonna find me. And there I have all my videos. Before I didn't even have my videos there. So I'm learning though. Believe me, before I even started doing YouTube channel, I didn't really, to be honest, I didn't think I could actually pull this off. And I did. I did it without anybody's help, really. I figured it out, Googled it. Google, 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 Google. So anyway, here I am. So welcome to my YouTube channel, and you can give my videos a thumbs up, and when you do that, you're actually helping me to reach all these other people out there that could really use some help. So if you want to see a change in the world, you could really help me out by, spreading the word, spreading these videos so you could share them. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would really help. And those of you, yeah, all of you, thank you so much, for subscribing my YouTube channel. And all of you that have liked my videos, thank you, or left a comment, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you. And every so often you're going to hear me say this, so get used to it. And besides subscribing, you can also ring that notification bell, and you could leave a message down below. Besides, if you want to get in touch with me, I am on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook at Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. So those are 3 ways that you can leave me a message. And thank you for all of those that do leave Starlight a message. I won't bite, and I will get back to you. You know, I do on my phone or on my laptop. You know, I do check my stuff because I'm always uploading, and then, you know, I do notice when people do leave any comments. And so anyway, I do want to reach out to all of you. Now, this could, you know, this really could help a lot of people out if they are struggling on this issue, you know, like on this problem, is to, you know, like, do you have a hard time asking for help? And it's so important that if you do, you know, I just got done making a video. Of course, I wasn't wearing the same clothes as I was wearing something totally different. Everything changed. Ching! You know, like it's funny. I practiced this my whole life. Thought I was going to be a Hollywood star, so I'm really good at. And I'm, you know, like I would have really been good at being a Hollywood star, but I really didn't want how they treated Hollywood stars, all the lies that they put out there on the internet, and you know, they lie and they put them on the magazines and stuff. But I'm really good, you know, like I did this most of my life is make dance videos, which I have. Whew, I have so many recorded dance videos, and what I was doing is I would, you know, dance with certain music and certain outfits or little things that I was wearing. Of course, in the summertime, I would be pretty warm, you know, doing some of these dances. So I didn't have a lot of clothes on at those times. And I was really quick. I'm like, oh, you know, another song. I'm going to get some other clothes on, get everything else different, and redo the video all over again. So I'm really good. I have what it takes to do that kind of stuff. So here I am again. Anyway, this is for people that have a hard time reaching out for help. And it's really, it's a lot to do with pride, you know, like that we are afraid. You know, fear can get in your way of thinking that who cares, you know, like about me to, you know, like you might really, really have some, you know, like lack on loving yourself. You might not love yourself like you should, you know, and I've been learning a lot about self-love for, you know, like really the last couple of years I've been learning a lot about self-love. I really didn't know what self-love was, you know. So I have been learning about what self-love is, and that is deep. When you really start really, and it's about your inside, not your outside, really. It has nothing really to do with the outside appearance. It's about, you know, like how do you treat yourself, you know? How are you when you're by yourself, you know, really? You know, that says a lot. That's when you're really your true self, is when you're by yourself and nobody can see you, right? As long as nobody's spying on you in your apartment, you know, where nobody could see you, you know, where there's no cameras on you, not like out inside, or, you know, nobody's around, especially if you, like with me, when I'm by myself, you know, this is who I am. And I'll tell you, sometimes it can get scary in here, you know, because not lately, I've been doing super good, you know. Asked me that a couple of years ago, and I'd tell you a different story, you know. So I have. I've been learning about self-love, and by having self-love, that means you start caring about yourself. You don't treat yourself bad anymore. You know, you're not hard on yourself anymore. You learn to forgive. Yeah, I said that. You learn to forgive yourself. And I definitely have to say it was, not that it was easy at all to forgive other people in my life. It was hard. You know, I had to understand how to forgive, and I learned a lot when I went to church. You know, I read my Bible. I studied my Bible about forgiving those that did you wrong, you know, and forgive them, for they know not what they do. That was a tough one. That was a big horse pill to swallow there. It's like, huh? They knew what the heck they were doing. Then later on I realized, maybe they really didn't know what the heck they were doing. You know, so forgiving others is very hard to do if, you know, they've done you wrong. And we've all had somebody do us wrong one way or another, all different forms of ways that people can do you wrong, either lying to you, stealing on you, cheating on you, beating you, you know, like, everybody goes through different things, maybe they're backstabbing you, talking bad about you, and then you're like, maybe they, like all kinds of stuff. So the list could go on. I could be here like forever just talking about what somebody could do to you, and a lot of you can relate to all of these things or some of those things, and so, like you think it's hard to forgive those people, how about you, how about forgiving yourself? Maybe you've done something in the past that, you have a hard time. Maybe you did somebody wrong and you're like, man, I never seen this person again because I screwed up. It was me. I know what I did, and I'm not proud of it now, knowing what I did. And I have to say for myself, I really never really did a whole lot to anybody. It was always to me. I was my worst enemy, big time. Guilty, guilty. Like if I was in court right now, boom, they guilty. I thought about that today. I was thinking, because with this full moon, whoo, I was feeling it today. I was feeling it, the energy with the full moon. Whoo, I had a hard, not, it didn't last a whole long, but the energy that I was getting hit by, and today's the 7th, so a couple days ago on the 5th, it was the full moon in May. So, I guess I'm really, I felt like, I really, something happened overnight. I did a really deep meditation, like, felt like a snake, like a old self getting stripped away, my old Kathy Dingman, the things that she did. And, so with Kathy Dingman, she didn't love herself, and it's really sad that there's people that don't love themselves, where they might want to harm themselves, they might want to end their lives. And there's more people out there doing that these days than you might even realize. It could be your neighbor, it could be your mom, it could be your dad, it could be your daughter or son, or your friend, and you might not even know about it. It could even be your wife or your husband, guy or girl, your sons, your daughters, your cousin, a stranger that, like you see them on the street, you recognize them, but you don't know them. That person could be going through a hard time, and you would never know, because we're all like, I never understood this. I was like, in my whole life, I was like, like where I was taught with the church, what they were teaching is like, like if you were having a problem, you weren't really allowed to actually say your problem. Everybody's like, you need to toughen up. You need to, like put a smile on your face and just get out there and act like nothing's wrong. And that's exactly what I did. I had issues. I had problems and all this stuff, just like you probably do, where you're like, and you get out in public and you're like, hi, hello, hi, how are you? And then you're home and you're like, you could be bawling your ass off later on. You could be crawling on the ground, on your floor, on your carpet, like I have, and you could be crying, and you might not have anybody there to help you to get through those times, where, you could use some help, so, like, are you that type of person that, like is struggling in life? Maybe, like you're afraid of the future. That happens to a lot of people where they're afraid, because, you've gone through so much in your life where, you're afraid of what's going to happen next. Maybe you've gone through so much, and these are things that you don't want to say. Is like, I've heard, like, people, or even myself, might have been guilty of this in the past, where, like, I don't know, I heard this recently. I don't remember who said this, but, for example, is, if one thing didn't happen, another did. And then when you say that, then more stuff happens because you're saying it. So sometimes without even realizing it, you can add more problems. I'm trying to think of other things that maybe I've been guilty at, or where I've heard other people say, where you think that like the government is after you. I was like that long time ago where I felt like everything that they knew everything about me. They were watching and spying on me everywhere I went, and that can be creepy after a while where you don't even feel like you got privacy no matter where you go. That's a creepy feeling, you know. So you gotta really learn to really be careful what you think. Your thoughts are not your own. And, if you're thinking a negative way and all that stuff and your thoughts are not good, and I don't want to say good. I mean, they're not positive, put it that way. They're negative thoughts, where you're thinking, why does this, why does this stuff always happen to me? Those kind of things, like, I, you might even have family members that like might tell you things that are negative, and it causes more negative things to happen. A negative thing that your family or friends might say to you is like, boy, you always draw those kind of people onto yourself. Or you might even be guilty of saying, why do I always seem to get these same kind of people around me all the time? Where, like that could happen where, you want to make good friends, but then for some reason you always get the wrong kind of people around in your life where they're not helping you. It just pulls you away from really becoming happy. They might be into drugs or alcohol or going to the bars or casinos is not a really good place to go. Really, there's a lot of strange, really weird energy in casinos. I have to say, I have never really been a big gambler in my life, and I'm just going to stop there. I'm not going to go any further on what I wanted to say, but you know what? Those gambling places is really weird energy, and if you're in that kind of stuff, gambling, it's a really, really bad, or maybe you're a gambler, where if you have an addiction, there's all different sorts of addictions. You can have a sexual addiction. Yeah, that exists, where you're so addicted to having sex all the time, where you could put yourself at risk of catching something or getting something, where you always got to have sex all the time. You're like, woo, this feels good. I want more. And you won't even care after a while who you're doing it with. So there's all kinds of addictions, alcohol addiction, drug addiction, gambling addiction. So there's all different sorts of addictions out there. And I've learned in my past is like if you did things more than 3 times in a row, it could definitely easily become addiction. Like drinking too much alcohol, like I actually used to drink a glass of wine a day. I had my own, I don't have any wine glasses anymore or any wine. I gave it up, because that goes hand in hand with pot. If I have, like pot, then I'm going to want my wine. And, like if I have my pot, then I'm going to bring the bad music in, and if I got the bad music in, then I'm going to dance and I'm going to want my wine. And then it's just a horrible cycle. So you got to really be careful. Even like, with cigarettes, a lot of people love drinking alcohol with their cigarettes because it's a hand in hand. I don't like cigarettes. I have not smoked in as old as my son, really 31 years. I was a heavy smoker, but I started at a young age. I didn't smoke a lot, and I gave it up because the price went up, and really everybody was bumming my cigarettes off of me. Hey, can I have a cigarette? I never asked them for one cigarette. I had girls claiming that they were my friends. Hey, like Starlight. They didn't call me Starlight, but hey, can I get a cigarette I can bum off of you? And by the time I get done with my pack of, cigarettes, I'm looking in the pack. I'm like, huh, like, where's all my cigarettes? I was so nice to everybody. And like I was saying earlier, is the universe was showing me so many downloads from this full moon. Is that in the middle of the night, I did get some really powerful stuff in the middle of the night. Things that I was like blown away in my mind. The pieces that were getting put together in my mind on things throughout my life, and then I got thinking, like about karma, like you reap what you sow and all that stuff is the kind of the thing that I was thinking about in the middle of the night about reaping and sowing. And, I have to say that really when it came from me doing anything wrong to other people, I was awesome with people. Is that I just wasn't treating myself good at all. I put myself in risky situations, and that does happen. They say with, and I did make a video about bipolar, people with bipolar, schizophrenia, or schizophrenia, like labels and stuff. I made a video. I don't know when I'm going to put that one out, but they say with bipolar there's two different types. And like I was being labeled by my doctor of why I was, like my therapist and all these doctors that were trying to figure out what title, what label to give me, and they couldn't even make up their mind, did I have bipolar or schizophrenia? And then later on, and like I told my therapist I didn't agree to any of it, and she's like, oh, well, how about schizophrenia? Well, I'm like, really great, because I had a hard time with bipolar and schizophrenia, and now you give me another title or label that I never even heard before. Now I got to figure out what the heck does that one mean. Where really I didn't have bipolar or schizophrenia or schizophrenia or schizo or whatever. I had a spiritual awakening is what I had. It had nothing to do with bipolar, because the type 1 and type 2, there's two different types where the one might go out and blow money all the time and go shopping, and then they said the other type of bipolar was the type that might be, and that's what they were calling me is like, might put themselves at risk out there, like with men or different places. And yeah, I definitely did put myself in, like in a bad place, and for safety. I wasn't even thinking clear, but there was things going on with my body that I didn't even understand, and then I ended up having a spiritual awakening, like so really you got to really care about yourself. And it really actually goes along with respect, like, do you respect yourself? There's some people that get mad, because they want people to respect them, but they're not even respecting themselves, where you got to respect yourself in order for anybody to respect you. That means you got to love yourself and care about yourself, to who you are, stand up for your rights, say no when it's a no, not, say yes when it's a no. I've learned that from a very special friend out there, and that's where I've actually have failed in the past, where, there's a lot of times it was a no, and I said yes. And then later on, I'm beating myself up because it's not what I wanted to do. I caved into what they wanted, like, so I gotta let that go. I gotta stop saying yes when it's a no. Like recently somebody wanted me to go and hang out at their house. We don't have anything in common anymore. Yeah, we smoked before and drank some wine, but really it came down to it that the person didn't even respect me, and I was sick of it, to the point that I could throw up. I was like, there was something going on in my body that said, why do you keep going to his house? Every time you get done going to his house, you get upset with yourself, you get upset and you get mad at yourself because, you went over there, and what happened? The same thing that happened the last time. He's not respecting you, but you keep going back, don't you? And then later on, you bitch and complain about how he's treating you, what he's doing, how he's, is he treating you like a lady? Absolutely not. So sometimes we do. We got to care enough and have respect enough and say, you know what, that's enough. I've had enough. I'm not going to put myself in that situation anymore. I'm not going to have you treat me like this. I'm not saying you guys, but I'm not going to have you treat me like that anymore. I'm more than that. Stop treating me like this. That is, I'm not going to let people treat me like that. There's, and this goes on with guys and girls, where sometimes guys, will might treat a girl like they're a whore or a slut or a prostitute, and that happens a lot. And then you got the women, not all women and not all men. I got to make myself clear on this, is that then there's some women, they really want that guy's money, where, they might do stuff, like to get that money, where it kind of ruins it for women like me. and maybe women like you, if you're even a girl watching this, and the girls might ruin it for you guys, or the guys might ruin it for you guys, because then it messes everything up, because then, like when you're out there hoping to, get, even if it's just a friend, I'm not even talking about a boyfriend or a girlfriend, like you want to have a friend, where, and that's really where it should start, is with friendship first, where if they can't even want to be your friend and start at that friend level, then let them go, because they're only after that one thing, and guys, the same thing. If she's only after what you could buy for her, that's all she's going to want later on, because that's all she wants. She wants you to take her out, and it's all right to take a lady out for dinner, but, and then she's going to want you to buy her clothes. And then this is where that whole complication thing goes, where then guys get mixed up. They think that all girls are the same way, where they're like, hey, I bought you dinner. Now, don't you owe me something? And it's like, absolutely not. Thank you, but I will pay for my own dinner. I'm a big girl. I've gone on many dates before, on dating apps, where I will pay for my dinner. I don't expect them to pay for my dinner. I've gone on dates where guys were so cheap they didn't even want to, pay, and they acted like I needed to pay them something. And I'm not that girl. I don't care about your money. I was only wanting friendship, and if they don't, they're like, like, if you just want to be friends, well, then I don't want it. Well, isn't that how a relation? You act like you want a relationship, but you don't even want to be my friend first without sex. But I'm confused, and then they're not patient. Not all men are like this. There's some men, I praise these men, that they're patient. They really want to get to know you, and that's a very few out there, I have to say, where they're patient enough that they will reach you to that level and say, hey, that's exactly what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking for. I want to be your friend first, see if that works out. And if it doesn't work out for being friends, I guess we can't be lovers, right? So it is. It is hard to find men that are going to be patient enough with a female to really get to know each other. That way you can work on that friendship level, where there's no touchy-feely stuff or any like like they don't expect you to do anything like hey, I paid you dinner. Now, like, does that mean I'm going to get a kiss from you, or, like maybe I can come over to your house tonight, or I'll invite you. You could spend the night at my house, but we won't sleep together. All that fun stuff. Or hey, let's come over to my house. We'll drink, and hopefully I can get you drunk, or like maybe. So it is kind of weird how all this stuff works. And then, like I said, there are women that make it look bad for me because they're out for a man's money, and then it confuses things. It mixes a guy's mind up, where they think, oh, this is how all women are. They just want money. So hey, I will buy him stuff, and hoping that maybe I can get some whoopee from him or something, and then they get upset if they don't get what they want, and then they feel used. But like there's a miscommunication there with the sexes, and it upsets me, where there's women that make me look bad because they're after a man's money. I don't give blink about your money. It's your heart, it's your love is what I am desiring. Somebody to respect me, somebody that is not so quick to hurry up and have their way with me. So really you do have to respect yourself, and like to stand up for your rights, be strong. Like if a guy, like, or a girl, like if a girl is going to just use you for your money, and you get a red flag that, hey, haven't you noticed that you've been going out and doing all this and buying this, and, taking her here and taking her there, and what is she doing to you? What is she, like, I mean, not that she's got to do anything to you sexually or anything like that, but how is she repaying you? Like, so you got to really not get mixed up with all that stuff and thinking that's a normal way, because it is not a normal way. Like the way people look at, like, getting I don't want to say hooked up because hooked up only sounds like a one night stand, but people that are really serious about long-term relationships, where you need to respect yourself out in life, like, and I wasn't respecting myself, you know. I've had actually people, and it could have been family members, and this could, the universe uses whoever the universe wants, whoever's in your circle, whether you get along with them, whether they mess you up sometimes or not, maybe they're really helpful at times and maybe they're really not. But the universe will use whoever the universe wants. And sometimes, the universe will say something to you and get you really ticked off, and then later on, it's the way the universe is trying to get your attention about really how you're treating yourself. And you really do. You need to respect yourself and love yourself and forgive yourself. Like I have to say, I don't feel bad about anything that I've done to anybody else because I've been really good with everybody else. So the only thing that really that I see that I've had to work on as far as karma goes is how horrible I was to myself. It wasn't to anybody else out there, believe me. I got a good record on how I treated people. I was actually really treating people too good is what was my problem. It wasn't that I was treating people bad. So really, you got to think, there's a lot of people that they think, I did a lot of bad stuff to people and nothing's ever happened to me. I'm still doing a lot of bad stuff to people. Don't worry. It's coming. Let me put it that way. It's coming. Because my download of information I got the other night, wow, I'll tell you, that was like I was like, wow, universe, that is a big eye opener. So I feel a whole lot better knowing that I didn't go out and do a lot of things. Like I was really great with men, freaking really great. I treated my men like kings. I treated them too good. I let them run over top of me is what I did, and that's not loving me. That's letting people run over you. And you got to stop letting people, whether you're a guy or a girl, stop letting girls run over top of you. Stop letting them use you. Stop, like I told my son, I seen how women could be. I knew some of them out there. I'm like, don't spoil your wife. And that's what happens. Where guys get so excited they don't want to lose her that they go crazy and they go and blow all this money on them. And they do. They take her places, on trips and holidays and, like maybe a weekend, get away, or buy her jewelry right away, like where, he didn't wait long enough. He really wanted to win her over and, his heart was so there. I've witnessed this, I've really never really got to experience that myself or, to really have a man go head over heels. I've had men that wanted to marry me before, but, like we were not lined up together, and being patient really helps out, like let her have it, don't rush it, and, like with guys, I love you so much is that you really do. You gotta, not spoil your girls. The women out there, whoever you're with, you got to spread that love around, like see how they're going to respond when you don't give, like are they going to be a bitch? Are they going to start giving you a problem? See how they react and respond, it's important with the holidays and stuff, but, if you overdo it, then they're just like kids in a way. They're going to expect it, so you really have to respect yourself. And I know this video is so long already, is that you got to care about yourself, really. And when a no is a no, don't say yes when it's a no, and stay firm. It's just like the way you are, like what it should be with kids. When they ask you for something, they're like, Mommy and Daddy, can I? And you're like, you could just say no for the heck of it. Really, you don't have to always say yes to your kids. They need to understand this is life. This is how it is. Not all the time do you get a yes. No, absolutely not. You gotta, like say no. See how they're going to respond. How are they going to react? Test people out. Really test them out. I'm being tested all the time. I tell you, I am. I'm being tested. How I respond. Sometimes I get triggered sometimes. And, in my apartment, I might be, woo. man, why did they do that? You know, like, and you know, it might take me maybe a day or two, you know, like to try to figure out why did they say that? You know, like, are they talking to me or are they talking to somebody else? Or, you know, was that for me, or am I over exaggerating, or am I letting this, you know, like, am I making it more than really what it is? You know, so you really do. You can test people. There's nothing wrong with that. But when people test you, it's all on how you respond. You know, if you respond in a bad way, then it means that you need more growing. You know, there's something that you got to work on. You know, so anyway, really, I love all of you, and you really got to stand up for your rights, you know, in life. You know, like, to how you respond to people, and it's so important how you do respond to people. You know, treat everybody with respect. You know, like with guys, don't let those girls, women, not all of them, not all of us are after you for your money. You know, you got to understand that. You know, and I know some people, they got lots of money. They got so much money they don't even know what to do with it. And it can be probably scary for you not knowing who is who and who's going to do what to you, you know, with all the money that you have. But you got to understand not all of us want your money or even care two blinks about your money. You know, so and that's why it's so important to really test people out and see how they are. And you know that, you know, like, you got to be patient with each other in life, you know, like, to not think, you don't want to rush things. That's when we mess up. When we try to rush things, and that's what I'm learning from the universe right now, is I got to be patient. You know, there's things I desire in life, but you know, I'm not supposed to be all, you know, all about the destination. I got to enjoy the journey as I'm going through it, and not be so focused on the, you know, like, where I want to get, you know. But it is important to, you know, like, know where you want to go, you know, what your desires are. But it's a sometimes it's a slower process than you want, but there's reasons for it, you know. So anyway, here we go, a long video again. So anyway, because there's so much to it, you know, like, it's like, that's why I can make all these different videos, because there's so many different things to talk about and angles and all that stuff. But really, you do need to respect yourself and love yourself, and not let anybody run you over, a guy or a girl, you know. And not that I'm afraid of sex. I enjoy it. It just, that's not what I'm all about either, you know. I love having fun. I love to be adventurous. I love traveling. I love to eat. I love to going out. You know, there's more to me than just sex. And, you know, just, I love being creative. I love music. I love my guitar music is awesome. Instruments and all that stuff. So we need to respect each other, you know, and not to treat all of us. You know, I don't want to treat you like, you know, anybody from my past, or I don't want to treat you like any all the other guys. And not all the other guys are all the same. We're all different. So please don't treat each other like, oh, all women are the same, or oh, all guys are the same. That's not true. You know, I was in that mind state years ago, you know, like, thinking that's all the way guys are, you know, and that's not true. I was deceiving myself by thinking that way, and it is not true. And all women are not the same. We're all different, and you just got to figure out who is who. So anyway, I do love you, and anyway, you can like this video, you can give it a thumbs up, you could share this video, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave a message down below. If you want to contact me, you can on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook at Kathy with a K Dingman. And anyway, I know I got so many other topics to talk about. That was a mixture right there. I was trying to stay focused on one area, and that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes it kind of leads to different things that, you know, like, because it kind of is related to different topics. So anyway, I just go along with the flow and see how it goes. So anyway, I do love you, and I really hope you got some help from this video. And I will be back. This is Starlight. Love and light. Peace.